Welcome to the 4 Pillars of Men's Health, a podcast of resources for restoring vigor and vitality, bringing you top influencers in the men's health arena, case studies of men who have succeeded and how they did it, and cutting-edge teaching on men's health issues from America's leading men's health guru, Dave Skattum. Get ready to take steps towards good health. Here's your host, Dave Skattum.
Hey, welcome to the 4 Pillars of Men's Health. I'm so glad that you joined us today for this podcast. And I think I have a really good tool that's been really successful for me and in my kind of journey to good health. And I hope that this is something that you can grab a hold of and really jump on board with this and start applying this to your life as well. And I think you'll have some good results. And it's about this thing called fasting. And I have Dr. Fuhrman on the phone with me. And Dr. Fuhrman, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to the 4 Pillars of Men's Health once again.
Oh, my pleasure. Great to be here.
Yeah. Hey, so I want to, Dr. Fuhrman has had a huge impact in your writings and your teachings have had a big impact. And I want to just let everybody know a little bit more about you with an introduction. It's a little bit lengthy, but I think it's really good about kind of what Dr. Fuhrman does and where he's come from and his mission in life. But this comes right off his website, and it says, through his medical practice as well as his New York Times best-selling books and PBS specials, Dr. Fuhrman has helped thousands of people lose weight permanently, that's amazing, and reverse chronic diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune disease, chronic pain syndrome, including migraines, using a nutrient-dense, plant-rich eating style that he calls a nutritarian diet. And he's an internationally recognized expert on nutrition and natural healing. Dr. Fuhrman is also a health fitness enthusiast whose athletic background gives him a keen insight into the importance of diet and physical exercise. Dr. Fuhrman devotes his life to nutritional research, staying up to date on thousands of articles. And if you jump on his site, you can see how much he focuses on scientific journals and research and working with nutritional research around the world. His expertise includes 25 years of experience caring for more than 10,000 patients with serious medical conditions, and in most cases, facilitating the recovery via nutritional methods. His books have no preconceived philosophy, agenda, or bias. They are an uncompromising assessment that offers the gold standard of nutritional excellence to foster the greatest potential for disease prevention, reversal, and extended human life. And man, it's just so exciting to have a guy like you on my podcast that can share your thoughts on health and nutrition and exercise and those things that keep us going and keep us going to a place where we can fulfill our mission in a great way on this earth. So today I'm especially excited to be talking about this intermittent fasting boot camp that's coming up that I've signed up for. It's on starting November 9th through the 13th. It's a week-long program. And tell us, Dr. Fuhrman, just a little bit about what is intermittent fasting and how does it work? And it sounds like it's like a start and stop kind of a program. Tell us a little bit more about what intermittent fasting is, how it impacts our health, all those things.
Absolutely, and thanks for that opportunity to explain, because I know most people focus on the word fasting. It's like intermittent fasting means not eating and starving yourself. But my version of intermittent fasting, we call it time-restricted eating, is a targeted meal plan that tells people exactly what to eat so they're not hungry, so the appestat in the brain gets satisfied, so they are feeling comfortable consuming less calories when they're flooding their body with high-nutrient foods that contain fiber and other, factors that you could support a healthy microbiome and give you lots of these fibers that resist starch, the microbiome that these bacteria live on. The breakdown of these plant materials form like butyrate, which signals the hypothalamus and the central nervous system to cut down your appetite. But what I'm saying right now is that the American diet, which is with its processed foods, salt, sugar, and oil, and all those animal products, and the lack of vegetation in the diet, leads to an unrelenting desire to overeat, resulting in more than 90% of our population being above their ideal weight. So, and even there's only 2.4% of Americans that are actually out of favorable weight and because they eat right and exercise. It's 2.4%. We're talking, there are people that are underweight or of a normal weight that are sickly, like smokers and sick people, but the only about 2.4% of healthy people that are at their ideal weight, the vast majority of people. But in any case, what I'm saying right now is that when you flood your body with phytonutrients and antioxidants, this symphony of nutrients that the human body requires, the body can effectively then get rid of the excess of reactive oxygen species, those free radicals that cause damage, and remove other toxins that build up and cause illness. But your body rids itself of these waste products and toxicity that causes cancer and dementia and diabetic nephropathy and kidney disease, and in other words, with all the damage caused by the buildup of these excess free radicals and other toxins like advanced glycation end products that build up and methylation defects in the DNA. But the body has the ability to reverse these things and repair them, and it repairs the damage from your improper eating most effectively in the non-feeding state, when you're not digesting food. When you're digesting food and taking calories in, your body can't be breaking down fat, removing toxins, and throwing waste products out. It's either generally doing one or the other. You're not losing weight while you're eating. You're losing weight when you're not eating. You're not breaking down metabolic waste and cleansing and healing when you're eating. You're doing those reparative processes that are heightened in what we call as the catabolic phase, after digestion is finished. And what happens is people's diets are so poor that they enter the catabolic phase of the digestive cycle when their blood sugars go down. And because their diet is so poor and they're so toxic, their body starts detoxifying, they feel wasted, wiped out, even agitated. There's stomach cramps, they feel headache, and they think those symptoms of withdrawal are hunger. And they eat again because it makes them feel better to eat again because it picks their energy up. It makes their headache, the buzz and their irritability go away. And they live their whole adult life thinking that hunger is eating to withstand feeling poorly. And they don't realize the feeling poorly is it's like the withdrawal from stopping cigarettes or cocaine. Yeah. And when we combine this high nutrient eating style, which reduces the waste products in the body, it enables people to then spend more time in the detox fasting phase in comfort, and then body can really get the repair done and completely, you could say, revolutionize their health and have them start to accomplish, come over health hurdles they couldn't do that before. And I'm also saying that your body has a metabolic clock. And it burns calories more efficiently in the morning, and it stores calories more efficiently in the evening. And we eat in conjunction, aligns with our metabolic clock. We maximally, of course, lose weight and have better health. And we could talk about all the science and all the reasoning, but this is just a rough introduction of where we're heading. So this boot camp I'm running really can get people who want to take the initiative to get themselves started in a new way of living and eating, hopefully, for the rest of their life. Hopefully they'll see this is the time to get your health in gear and clean your house out, because the way you're living could lead to cancer or heart disease or dementia. But that doesn't scare people because they think it's 30 years from now, it's 40 years from now. Who cares? Live for the moment. But the moment could be COVID, and the point is that you want to protect your immune system. So if you get anything you come across in your life, even an infection, you're not at risk for. So what I'm saying, we have an unprecedented opportunity here in human history to use modern nutritional science to really protect ourselves. And I'm saying these illnesses that afflict other Americans don't have to happen to you. You can make a choice really to be in fantastic health with a disease-resistant body.
Yeah. So, listening to you, I'm reflecting back over some conversations I've had with some of my friends, and it's like they say, "Hey, Dave, did you try fasting?" And so so they do this like this long, like more than a 1 day or 2 day fast or something, and then the first thing they do is they have these cravings, and they go back to okay, my fast ends on Friday night, so Saturday morning they're at Burger King, chugging down their big gulp and their double Whopper or whatever. And so what you're saying is that that doesn't work. That is what is leading to our dysfunction, our poor health. Is that kind of a mindset? So reflect a little bit on that. What in our American standard American diet, how is that? What are you saying about your intermittent fasting program and diet? How does that work together?
Right. That's of course the primary message here is that fasting that's not framed with excellent nutrition is not only worthless, it's likely harmful. And as you know from my book you mentioned earlier, The End of Dieting, I described the science via which people that yo-yo their weight and regain their weight back fast, with going on and off diets, how much that increases the risk of cancer and other diseases, including heart attacks. Let me give you an example, is that you're on this diet now to lose weight. And you've never been, and I'm saying we're teaching people a way to eat that's going to have them comfortably consume less calories for the rest of their life. And they're going to learn the right time to eat, how much to eat, and what to eat. And part of it includes time-restricted eating. But if you just willy-nilly not to eat and then go back to eating conventional food with no nutrients in it, then you're going to rapidly gain weight. And when you rapidly gain weight back again, your body can only put subcutaneous fat, the fat around your waist and your butt, on so fast. So when you're gaining weight back rapidly, you're putting an extra amount of visceral fat on the body. And visceral fat is more saturated. And it's going to be around the liver and the heart, around internal organs. It's more dangerous than subcutaneous fat. It's the type of weight gain that accelerates the buildup of cholesterol plaque in your coronary arteries. That's why we see more heart attacks around Christmas time and the holidays and New Year's, where people binge and go to parties and eat badly, and they gain weight. They gain 5 pounds of fat on their body over the holidays, and they come and have the heart attacks, and the hospitals have to put all the extra doctors on staff around then because they expect all the people coming in with their heart attacks. Or people come back away they go on cruises and away on vacation, and they binge on those buffets on the cruise or in Vegas. And they gain 10 pounds so-called on vacation, and they come back and they have their heart attack. They're relaxed. They're on vacation. They come back and they have a heart attack because they binged that on food. And so if you fast and take fat off, and your body's metabolic rate is slow, and your body is hungry, starving for nutrients, and your powers of assimilation, digestion are enhanced, you're going to gain weight faster, and it's going to be you made the fast into a dangerous experience. The key here to fasting, and of course, my supervision, is exactly how to break the fast and how to get back on and what to eat when you're not fasting. And of course, we're not talking about going days and days without eating. We're talking about going a few hours before you go to sleep at night, finishing dinner 3 or 4 hours before you go to bed at night, so you can extend the catabolic phase of the you can get 13, 14, or 15 hours in of not eating while you're sleeping. Instead of eating at 9 o'clock at night and going to bed on a full stomach, we want people to finish dinner by 6 o'clock and go to 7, 8, 9, 10, and go 4 hours before you go to bed. And then you have the 4 plus you didn't eat to 8 o'clock the next morning. Then you have 14, 15 hours of no food, and that's leads to incredible health transformation. But then you got to eat a healthy breakfast, of course, and a healthy dinner. You got to frame it with really beautiful eating, and then the body just, I'm so passionate about telling people that our body is disease resistant and cancer is completely unnatural. It doesn't have to happen. We created it through our modern lifestyles. And we have the knowledge today so we can tell people they don't have to get cancer, and dementia, by the way, or heart attacks. But, I say to people, we've landed the man on the moon already. And by that I mean that we've already know the technology to get a guy on the moon. We've done it already. And we've already got the technology to win the war on cancer right now. We've got this technology. It works. It's in the scientific literature. And the answer is vegetables. You have to eat your G-bombs. The G-bombs, that full spectrum of different types of foods that give us the anti-cancer ingredients for our immune system to function at a high level of function. And the G-bombs are obviously greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, seeds, these things we have to consume to maximize the normal human immune function and to protect us against cancer. But people don't want this answer. They don't like this answer. They don't like the vegetable answer. They want to be able to smoke 3 packs a day and then take a magic pill, not get lung cancer, or be able to eat pizza and donuts and bagels and burgers and not eat and not get breast cancer. And that's a fairy tale. Yeah. It's never going to happen. You're not going to get a magic pill that can enable you to eat fast food and commercial baked goods and not get cancer. If you eat those foods, you're going to get cancer because they cause cancer. Right. So people don't want. So the facts is that you have to make people have to make a radical change if they want a radically great lifespan and play span.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So we're right in the middle of all this COVID-19 thing, and I'm looking at I did a printout off of your website, drfuhrman.com, and under one, you have a thing here that says, "Is intermittent fasting for me?" And one of the things you say on here is, "Yes, it's for you if you want to disease-proof your body." And are you saying that? I mean, you kind of hit on it just now, but it sounds like you're saying that the combination of this intermittent fasting and good nutrition will actually build up your immune system so we can fight this COVID thing more efficiently. Are you saying that?
I'm absolutely saying that with even more strength of words. I'm saying that the COVID crisis is predominantly a crisis of poor nutrition over the modern world and people eating processed foods and fast foods. And I'm saying that a healthy human being, I don't care if people say they're younger, it still affects some young people. It's not just the overweight and sickly it's affecting. Yeah, but these younger people are still eating poorly and have poor immune functions. I'm not, so the fact that COVID kills so many people, has killed so many people, and so many people are vulnerable to it, is this demonstrative of the fact that we have we have so many people that are not eating properly. And yes, I'm saying that you can that a person on a really healthy nutritarian diet has nothing to fear from COVID. It's just people with poor immune function. These viruses don't stand a chance against a fully powered immune system where a person's eating their big salad of raw vegetables every day and their vegetable and bean soup and their berries and their nuts and seeds. When you're eating the healthy foods the body needs, you're not going to be troubled by these viruses at all. And everybody knows that healthier people and younger people are more resistant. Now's the time to make yourself healthier and younger. Get your telomeres longer, get your stem cells replenished, get your body full of nutrients, and start to get yourself at a better biological age and a fully functioning immune system. And this I'm saying COVID's a great opportunity why people should really take care of their health right now and not just bury your head in the sand and say, I'll smoke cigarettes now because the lung cancer's not going to get me for 30 years. I'll worry about it then. But now we have something that's going to get you right now. You better worry about this now, and worry. And the same thing is the idiocy and the ignorance of people thinking they don't pay a price for the abuse they do to their body. They can think they can eat donuts and sugar and candy and not pay a price with some shortening of lifespan or increasing disease down the road. There's always a price to pay. You don't get something for nothing. You put junk in your body, you shorten your lifespan. Now this is the opportunity people have to take advantage of to undo that damage with real excellent nutrition and not let more damage accumulate because and it's the same people the way they treat the environment and the world and the climate. They just do whatever. It's just instantaneous gratification to ruin the world for the future down the road for the next generations to come, it's all about just behaving in irresponsible manners. But and food addiction, of course, drives this all. The food industry drives this, and once you're on these processed foods and high sugar and fatty foods, you've lost your body's ability to navigate your brain. Your brain, these drives to consume these addictive substances takes over your behavior and your thinking.
Yeah, and it's just in listening to you, it's like I think a lot of people in our society are starting to get this. They're looking around and seeing the failures that are happening with our nutrition and our the way we're living our lives. But boy, it's like an uphill battle. Many of us are so, for years, maybe even generations, have invested ourselves in these poor health choices, and it's like a major undertaking to try and turn this ship around a little bit so that we're heading in a more healthy direction. And just in looking through your papers here, you have day 1, day 2, and day 3, and day 4, day 5, and you list some of the things that are going to happen in this seminar, and it's really pretty amazing, the things that you're going to cover in here. Like just day 1, maximizing nutritional healing, and day 2, essentials of nutritarian cooking. So it sounds like we're going to learn how to cook better. We're going to learn about nutritional density and what that does to our body. And day 2 even has some addictive eating and overcoming addictive issues with our food.
Overeating, yeah.
Talk a little bit about how this thing is going to be structured and how it's going to benefit people who participate in this.
Well, look, people need a lot of information. They just can't get this in an hour medical visit. They can't just get this in an hour. And they also don't have the attention usually to sit there and read a book for 18 hours. So I'm really focusing on the highlights, and also the fact is if you're not going to make it taste great and show them that healthy foods are going to taste good, they're not going to do it either. You have to show them that it sounds, you could say, a little bit scary for people, overwhelming, to learn all this stuff about nutrition, and not to eat when they're hungry, or they're not going to just live on carrot sticks. Shoot me right now. I'd rather be dead than I'd rather not live long if I can't enjoy what I'm eating. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is the way people think. And the addictive mind,
I know.
All these irrational excuses why they can't eat healthy, They don't like the way it tastes, and I'm traveling too much, and with friends, and my family, my mother, there's a million different reasons, but I've shown them that these excuses are just, they're primitive brain taking over because their addictive drive, and they actually will like this way of eating better than their old way of eating if they give it long enough. If they give it, a months of it, sticking with it, and they'll see the weight fall off them as they're eating enjoyable, good tasting stuff. The average person loses about 3 pounds a day. We're talking here about, and then the second month maybe 2 pounds a day. But so we're talking here about 15 to 20 pounds the first month, and then then maybe 8 to 12 pounds the second month, and about 8 to 10 thereafter. So they're really getting off their extra weight and gravitating and then maintaining their ideal weight. So even though I'm spending this week in all these teachings, the intention is not to, have them eat healthy for a week. The intention here is them to learn with myself, my chefs, my food addiction counselors, and all the other things we're going to teach them, how they can incorporate this into their daily lives and leave this boot camp with a completely different vision of how to live, and how to live enjoyably and safely for the rest of their life.
I just a little reflection there. When you were talking about this, I had this. I just spent a little bit of time with a friend of mine who's obese, and he's kind of like, feels like so desperate, and so he knows that this extra weight that's on his body is harming him, and that it's so hard for him to get to the point where he can choose to make some changes, because the pull for years to go into the gas station or into the fast food restaurant and grab these fast foods that are the cause of this overweight situation he's facing is so strong. And I think it's so good that I see in one of your sessions you actually have it says tips for success with your food addiction counselor. It sounds like you might have a professional that is a food addiction counselor that can talk about food addictions. It's a real thing, isn't it?
Yes, obviously, I operate a food addiction center in San Diego where people come in and stay here for 2 to 3 months to get over their food, to lose weight and learn how to stay so they can leave with the skills and the knowledge and the changing their patterns and their way of thinking so they can get over their addiction and start to take care of their health. But in my my offerings of what my career and what my job is to give people all over the world all this information on healthful eating and also give them the counseling and advice about how to get rid of their food addiction and how to make this fun and enjoyable so people can stick with it. Because a lot of people can go to a health retreat and know that they can eat a lot of vegetables and lose some weight, but if they go back home again and gain all the weight back and go back to their former way of eating, they just waste their time and their money. The whole thing is giving people the skills and the knowledge so they can enjoy doing this and stick with it long term, obviously. So yes, I have a staff of food addiction counselors and people who can sign up for them to work with them on a one-on-one basis, even outside of this boot camp.
Wow, that's great. Another thing I see, I'm looking at day 4 now, and it says exercise class with Dr. Fuhrman. And we've been talking a lot about what's going on in our society regarding nutrition and overeating, things like that. But now you're introducing in day 4, you're talking about exercise. And what kind of things will you be covering, and what's the importance of exercise in this whole picture of getting healthy?
Well, a lot of people, they're thinking about exercise all wrong. They think they go to a gym and they exercise for an hour or 2, and they do that a few times a week. They're totally missing the concept here, and especially when you're not healthy or overweight or not in great shape. They need to break up their day and do 3 to 5 minutes of exercise 4 or 5 times a day. They need to not sit in one place all day long and keep breaking up their day with some exercises. So the purpose of my exercise boot camp is to show them to make them learn the exercises, not exercise with me and make themselves exhausted for the hour and get a good workout for that hour. I don't care what they do with the hour. They can be sitting on the couch for the hour. I don't care. It's not about it's about learning the right type of body motions to protect your bones, give you proprioception, give you a narrow waist and strong hips and a lower back, and how to use these exercises intermittently throughout your week. So every day you're doing something of value for your body in the exercise arena. And if you haven't, the best thing to do is to take a 5-minute break between breakfast and lunch, and then after dinner go for a walk, and then take a 5-minute break between lunch and dinner, and then before breakfast do something for 5 minutes too. The best thing to do is to intermittent do 3 to 5 episodes of exercise throughout your day, and make sure you cover all the body parts, your lower back, your hips, your abdomen, your hamstrings. So that's what I'm doing with them. I'm showing them all these exercises for balance, proprioception, the ones that build bones and protect falls as you age, and all the things you have to know about exercise to take control of your life. And it's not about, they can take notes, they can watch it again, they can see me doing the exercise, they can copy me doing it. They'll learn how to do the exercises so they can incorporate in their lifestyle.
Man, that can be such a load off of somebody's shoulders. Because I think a lot of times people think, just like you referred to, going to the gym, or now I'm going to start training to do this 10K race, and it's just like so big and so overwhelming. And sometimes those things can be if you overdo it too quickly with exercise, it can be detrimental to your health, actually. So, that's a really
and the reality is most people work, and most people don't have the capacity to do that much exercise at one time, and therefore they do nothing. They got to do what they and also it's sitting all day is not good for you. And it's better to break up your day and do some exercises all throughout the day. We're not talking about exercising 3 times a week. We're talking about exercising 3 times a day.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, I'm gonna we'll wrap this up here, but I just at the end of your thing here on your website, you talk about the things that are included, and it says we'll get an intermittent fasting meal plan, digital book, online classroom for reading videos and exercise plan, a private Facebook group, and then also a 1-month free trial to your membership organization within that you do for your drfuhrman.com or whatever, however you phrase that. But What,
Yeah.
so I just want to encourage people just to check in. That you can go to drfuhrman.com and just search his website on this intermittent fasting class and get signed up for this thing. And it looks to me like it could just be revolutionary to so many people. The content and the spectrum of topics that you're covering are so designed for good health and longevity, and it just looks like such a good program. Why don't you wrap it up with your final thoughts on the importance of this and how people can get involved and any other things that we kind of missed in our session today?
Sure. Well, my final thoughts are obviously been my mission throughout my whole, career over the last 30 years, is that to say that everybody has to know that these diseases that afflict everybody in America doesn't have to happen to you, and that nutritional excellence is more powerful than drugs. And don't be satisfied or complacent with being sick. You don't have to have high blood pressure the rest of your life and take drugs. You don't have to be diabetic and get rid of your diabetes. You don't have to have heart disease and have angioplasty or bypass surgery, have chest pains and take drugs the rest of your life, and cholesterol-lowering drugs to cause dementia and weight gain. And you don't have to have asthma and rheumatoid arthritis and psoriasis and skin diseases and headaches all the time and fibromyalgia. And people just are suffering, they're sick, and they just accept this nonsense that diseases are the inevitable consequence of aging or predominantly genetic. And your solution is to believe in taking some kind of poison from a doctor or from some medicine is going to make you feel better and get you well again, as if putting a poison into the body can fix the body you poisoned with unhealthy foods, and you develop these diseases, then you're going to poison it back to good health again. It's just absolutely ridiculous, and people are just totally don't have any idea that their body can self-heal and repair itself if you do the right thing to it. So that's my message is if you want to get well, that I'm giving you the resources and knowledge to take charge of your health destiny and get back to great health again. And now is the time to do this. Don't put off. Don't stay sick, and don't stay overweight a minute longer. Get back to being a lean, mean, fighting machine and enjoy your life and enjoy the beautiful world we have to be able to play in and exercise and have fun in. And who wants to be a couch potato and lose your mind as you get older anyway and lose your body at the same time? No, it's crazy.
You've been listening to The 4 Pillars of Men's Health with Dave Skattum. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit the4pillarsofmenshealth.com.